worst movie ever. And send and sip.
Let me tell you about the Flashpoint storyline in 60 seconds. Barry Allen awakens into a world that he doesn't recognize, a darker world, where he never became the Flash, but his mother is still alive. Believing that Eobard Thawne changed the timeline so that he wouldn't become the Flash, he seeks out Batman, only to discover that Bruce Wayne died by a gunshot and his father became a much darker, more violent version of Batman. After convincing Thomas Wayne to help him, Barry reenacts the accident that gave him his powers. Believing that they need Superman, the pair team up with Cyborg to break into a secret facility and find an alien that crash landed on the Earth. But this Superman is different as well. The group decide to try and stop a war between Aquaman and Wonder Woman, one that will destroy the entire world. And during the final battle, Thawne confronts Barry, explaining that it was Barry trying to save his mother that created the Flashpoint. Barry travels through time, once again stopping himself, accidentally merging 3 timelines into the New 52 universe. Though we would later find out that it actually wasn't Barry that altered things in time, but Dr. Manhattan.
Ladies and gentlemen, that clip was the movie we should have got, but we didn't get it. We just couldn't get it. This movie, I wouldn't even say it was a disappointment because I saw it coming from a mile away. My goodness. This movie was long, dull, and boring. I will say this, the only good thing I will say about this movie is it's in the middle of the pack. It's one of the best DC movies from the DCU, but that's not saying much because all of them are basically bad. I will put this movie up there. I think it's better than Black Adam. I think it's better than the Justice League movies. I think it's really up there. It's top 2, top 3, but that it's not saying much, like I said, because they're all bad films. My goodness. Why couldn't they stick with the original script? The story was right there. Eldridge Miller is a terrible Barry Allen. He's a terrible Flash, and he's a terrible Barry Allen. He doesn't look like Barry Allen. Why did they go with 2 versions of Barry Allen? We barely like Eldridge Miller. You gonna give us 2 of them? Are you kidding me? It's utterly stupid. They should have had the Reverse Flash in this movie. He should have been the main villain. From the bottom of my heart. Why they didn't go that direction is mind-blowing. Seriously. I wanted so much more. It was moments in this movie that was poetry, but just tiny moments. Like every time he was talking about his mom, it almost made me want to get like a teardrop or something. And then after that serious moment, after that enjoyable moment, it's a joke after joke after joke. I say this all the time. These superhero movies are made for gay, weird, white people and kids. That's what this film was for. This movie is for kids. Oh my God. I'm getting a headache thinking about this. I'm probably gonna do a part 2, a part 3, a part 4 rant like I did with the Miles Morales Spider-Verse movie. I got so much to say about this movie, but I feel like I'm not gonna get it all in one take. So just stay tuned, people. Before I really start this review, remember Jingles All the Way, that 90s movie? The Flash looked like that action figure, Turbo Man. That suit looked like the Turbo Man action figure. That suit was dumb. It looked like a glow-in-the-dark red suit with spinny colors. They just couldn't get his suit right to me. His powers look better than when he was with the Justice League movies, because it was just really dumb how they used his powers in the Justice League movie. But this movie was just utter trash. Let me start with the beginning of the movie. And by the way, fuck me. There's an emergency going on downtown. It's some type of wreck. Buildings getting destroyed. Like, you see the ground just crumbling. You see Batman is trying to get these people because they're doing like some type of heist mission where they're getting something that could really destroy the world. And let's talk about Ben Affleck Batman. He wasn't that bad as Batman, but my goodness, the times he was Bruce Wayne, he looked like a gangster mob figure from the 1950s. It's just ridiculous. The only thing he was missing was a gun. He looked like he was just too cool to be Bruce Wayne. I just hated that shit, man. Like, I don't get it. Who are these idiots? I'm about to look up, wait a second, people. I'm about to look up the writers for this movie. You got crackhead Ezra Miller, and you got Grant Morrison. Those are the crackheads that wrote this movie. Oh my god. This is just... You cannot make this up, people. But this movie was basically a film of Barry Allen trying to save his mom. And that's a good story. It's heartwarming, but it was just cheesy in between the moments, and the story was just like too long. I want to talk to Hollywood real quick. You don't have to make a 2 or 3 hour movie for the movie to be good. Like, I feel like they add or extend a movie for like an extra 30 or 40 minutes so they could say, ooh, it was a long film. Y'all don't have to do that. If it's a solid 90-minute film and it's really good and it gets to the point, I'm going to enjoy that. But if you add an extra 30 or 40 minutes to the film that's not needed, it's going to hurt the movie because it was too long, too dull, and too boring. But, and then I want to say one more thing before I hit the review. Michael Keaton Batman was okay, but he just looked too old. He was just too old to play this character. Maybe if this movie was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I'm down with it. But it just, his face looked weird in the mask. And that's all I really got to say about him. He was pretty cool, but he couldn't save the movie. He just couldn't. But like I said, this movie is about Barry Allen trying to save his mother, and he's doing anything and everything to try to save him. He keeps going back to the grocery store, keep getting the tomato sauce to put back in the cart, because this whole situation started because she forgot the tomato sauce. She died in her kitchen. People think that his father did it. His father got framed in a way. Barry Allen is a criminal, like, lawyer type of character, and he's trying to get his dad out of jail. And that's really the substance of this movie. And he goes through this journey to try to save his mom, and then he has like another version of him that's younger, and they click. But he's younger, like, when I mean young, by 18 years old, and he was fucking annoying in this movie. He was very, very annoying, obnoxious. I just hated the younger version of Eldris Miller more than the regular Eldris Miller, if that makes sense. So throughout the movie, they're trying to figure out. When I mean by boring, it was like a lot of ways they were trying to use science. To me, this was like a bad version of Back to the Future. That's what this movie was. And the main Eldris Miller Flash, he lost his powers throughout the movie, so he's trying to figure out how he could get his powers back. The younger Flash, he has the powers, so they're trying to figure that shit out. They're trying to find Superman, and they couldn't find Superman, but they found the dyke Supergirl. And my goodness, why couldn't they just have Superman in a movie? It makes no sense. I guarantee you more people in this world will rather see Superman than Supergirl. It's just common sense. Superman was in the main storyline in the comic. Why didn't we use Superman? And then I just felt like the main fighting scenes was just terrible. I didn't care for it. Like the Supergirl versus Zod scenes, I just didn't care for it. The only good thing I could say was Zod actually beat Supergirl. So I thought they was gonna just feminize it, where the Supergirl, Superwoman, whatever the fuck she is, she was just gonna just keep beating up on Zod. That was good. And the best moment of the movie, well, to me the second best moment of the movie, was really sad. I gotta admit, this moment of the movie was sad. After the fight, they realized that they couldn't save their mom, because the younger Flash kept going back to the scene to try to save the battle, but Supergirl, Superwoman, whatever, dyke Superwoman, she kept losing the battle against General Zod. So to me, it was sad that the Flash couldn't change history. They realized that this is what it's going to be, and they're destroying the timeline, keep trying to come back to try to defeat Zod, but Zod kept winning. I did like that part of the movie. And spoiler alert, I like that they showed all these different universes in the movie, and I guarantee you this one scene is the reason why people is going to say this movie is good when it's really not. It was just fan service, but it was actually good fan service for once. It was actually fan service that fits in the movie, and I liked it and I enjoyed it. But they had Supermans from like the TV shows, the movies, like you saw a lot of that. You even saw Nicolas Cage. You even saw that Superman that they were supposed to do in the 90s. And just seeing that moment, it really hurts me, because it's like, damn, we should have got a Nicolas Cage Superman movie in the 90s. I think he could have pulled it off. It sucks it never came to tuition, but that hurts to see that, to see those moments, and we just didn't see that in the 90s. Damn. But that was about it. After all of that, Barry Allen realized that he couldn't save the day, and the evil version of Barry Allen killed the younger Barry Allen, but they're both the same people. So after that, Barry Allen came back to his universe, took the jar of tomato sauce and put it back in the shelf, and it was an emotional moment that he had with his mom. And then after that, it's practically the end of the movie. We saw another Batman. I don't want to spoil it at the end. That was kind of funny, and it's kind of crazy because most people hated that Batman, but we saw him as Bruce Wayne, so you got to see the movie on that. But I would give this movie, out of 1 through 10, I would give it a solid 4. But it was boring. It was dull. It had a lot of corny jokes. Most of this movie, besides the emotional moments, was for kids. This movie was for kids. Just too many dumb jokes. And before I end this movie, I hated that Eldridge Miller, aka the Flash, I hated when he was using a Star Wars reference joke, when he was having like blue electricity come out of his hands. He said he was like the Emperor. That was just stupid. That was dumb. But Barry Allen needed some new clothes when he went to like a different reality, and he had like a female like shirt on when he was meeting up with his mom for the first time. Like, come on, like, what's up with these little weird, sneaky gay moments in the movie? Like, it's just utter trash. But I didn't like this movie. Will I watch this again? No. Would I advise this to anybody? Hell no. If you want to watch a good Flashpoint storyline, go watch the animated movie. The animated movie was way better than this. Why they didn't go with the Damian Batman, Bruce Wayne's dad, I don't know. Why they didn't put the Reverse Flash in this movie, I don't know. Why they didn't bring Superman into this movie instead of Supergirl, Superwoman, whatever, I don't know. It's 3 characters that should have been in this movie that would have extended the story, that would have made this movie way better than what it was. They didn't use those 3 characters. I would love to see that dark, evil Batman as Bruce Wayne's father. I would love to see that. I would love to see that emotional letter that we saw at the end of the comic, at the end of the cartoon. We didn't see that. Fuck this movie. Fuck this movie from the bottom of my heart. And if y'all want to donate to the channel, the link is below. It took me hours to edit this video. Like, I really put a lot of love and passion into these videos. So right below, tell me what you think and donate to the channel. The link is below. And if you want to join Discord, I'm giving individual people my Discord, because it's too many weird gay people that's trying to join my Discord, and I can't have that. So if you want to join Discord, if you want to be a part of the family where you can communicate with me anytime, join that Discord, and I will send you the link, and I will delete the link as soon as you get it, etc., etc., and I'm out.
You know the problem with Hollywood is they make shit. Unbelievable, unremarkable shit. Now, I'm not some grungy wannabe filmmaker that's searching for existentialism through a haze of bong smoke or something. No, it's easy to pick apart bad acting, short-sighted directing, and the purely moronic stringing together of words that many of the studios term as prose.